Hi, everybody. Welcome to another halftime show. This is a show that I record on my Instagram live, and it also gets published on my YouTube channel, which is called Teaches Zdenek. And I hope you guys enjoy this. Basically, what I'm doing here is that I'm talking about a Premier League game, and I go through selected vocabulary that I have jotted down, that I have written down as some interesting piece of language. So I've got this sheet full of notes, and I'm gonna go through it and explain that vocabulary to you, and also basically give you the context in which this vocabulary appeared. I'm not really doing a review of a game as such, although I do talk about the game a bit. So this time I'm talking about the Chelsea Tottenham Hotspur game. And I have to say, it's another boring game. It's the third boring game I have been watching this weekend. It's really disappointing. The first boring game was West Ham United, Manchester United. Then this afternoon, Arsenal Burnley, and this is to top it all, Chelsea Tottenham, another goalless halftime result. Um, Goalless. What does goalless mean? Goalless means that it's 0-0. No goals have been scored so far. A goalless draw, you could say as well. Right. I think Chelsea are slightly better. Slightly better. They have more possession, but overall, this game is underwhelming. Yeah. Okay. Eric Dyer, his first appearance since the new year. So appearance. What's appearance? Appearance has more examples. This word has more examples. One of them is the way somebody looks, but that's not really interesting for us when it comes to football, unless you are a woman, in which case a footballer's appearance may matter to you. But when it comes to football game, it doesn't really matter at all. Not as far as I'm aware. But you can also talk about football players' appearance, as in it's when a football player plays in a game. So Eric Dyer, it's his first appearance since New Year. It means he hasn't played for a long time, and it's his first appearance. It's his first public performance in an event. By the way, welcome everybody, whoever is watching this. It's good to have you here. Welcome. Thanks for watching live. I'm still not that good when it comes to interacting with the viewers because, to be honest, I'm recording for two different platforms, so it is a bit fiddly for me. So I may notice some of your messages, but I may also not notice them at times. I hope you forgive me. It's opened up for Harry Ings. Right. So if it opens up for you as a player, you have the ball and you're driving forward, let's say, and then it opens up for you. It means basically some space is created for you. Usually it's because the defenders, they don't know who to mark, and they basically make a defending error, and go they don't really challenge you, you know? They they try to mark your teammates, and it opens up. So that means you have space to run forward with the ball. Yeah. Okay. Tanganga, whatever his name is, Tanganga. Sorry, Tanganga, wary of Hudson Odoi over his shoulder. So Tanganga had a ball, I think, and he was wary. He was wary of Hudson Odoi over his shoulder. So Hudson Odoi was behind him, and Tanganga was wary. What does it mean? It means that he was kind of aware of that player behind him, and as a result of that, he was careful. If you're wary of someone, you're kind of careful because you don't want to make a mistake. Yeah, something like that. I have written it down. Careful because you do not completely trust someone or something, or are not certain about what you should do. Right. So I can't remember exactly what Tanganga did with the ball, but I bet he probably kicked it, to the second row or 10th row or something, because he was wary of Hudson Odoi. I think Hudson Odoi was pressing Tanganga well, and Tanganga, because he was wary, because he was careful, he didn't want to make a mistake, he kicked the ball out for a throw in. Okay. There was a Chelsea corner, and the commentator was basically describing what he could see on the pitch. And he said that one player is at the near post, then there was someone at the far post, and then there was a queue, or there is a he said there is a queue behind the penalty spot. So a queue, you guys know what a queue is, right? A queue is the line that it's the line where people stand in order to wait for their shopping to be done, or to be checked, or to be in order to pay in a supermarket. Let's say it's a queue, right? Maybe you are waiting to buy a ticket, you're waiting in a queue, you're waiting to enter, I don't know, at a music club, and you're standing in a queue, and then it kind of moves slowly. Yeah, but here the word queue, which is, by the way, spelled as Queuue, really difficult for some learners. Queuue. So a queue of players basically behind the penalty spot. It means there were a lot of players in the same area of the pitch, and that area was right behind the penalty spot. Just to create some chaos from this corner. Nothing came of it, though. As I said, it's a goalless draw in the halftime. Nah, there was a nasty tackle. I can't remember who it was. Was it Tanganga? I can't remember who it was, but VAR were inspecting this. To inspect something, it means to look into it, yeah? To look at it, right? Inspecting is VAR were inspecting it. And the commentators said that this is going to be borderline. So if something is borderline, it means it could go either way. Yeah, it means it's possibly unacceptable. If it's borderline, it could be right in the middle. Yeah, it could be a red, or it might not be a red. It was certainly a yellow, but unfortunately, VAR can only check for a possible red, which I think is a terrible rule. Like, if they check it, why not award a yellow card? It was obviously a yellow card. To be honest, it could have been red. It could be red, but they didn't even give this player a yellow. It was such a nasty tackle. Okay, Mason Mount kept it alive, just about. So Mason Mount had a ball, and it almost went off the pitch. Basically, he managed to keep it alive, which means it didn't cross the line. Yeah, it didn't cross the byline. He managed to keep it alive. So if you keep something alive, it means it's an interesting metaphor, isn't it? Alive, it means like not dead, right? So to keep it alive means to manage to control the ball just before it crosses the line. Yeah. So, and if you say just about, he managed to keep it alive just about. It's like by a little margin. Yeah. It was really close. It was almost a goal kick, but he managed to keep it alive just about. Lukaku, oh my God. Don't get me started on Lukaku. He's so bad. So many awful performances these days. It's unbelievable. I'm so surprised. such a big name in football, and he's playing so poorly. But this is what commentators said. They said that he needs service, which is true as well because he's that kind of player. He doesn't really create much himself. He needs service, which means he needs other players to support him. He needs his teammates to look for him with passes. He needs his teammates to pass the ball to him. He needs service. Yeah. He's not one of those players that can produce magic by himself, basically. That's the idea. Kane, Kane has had to strike up an immediate partnership with Bergwijn with Son missing. So Son normally plays with Kane up front, but he's missing. I think he's injured. And that's for Bergwijn is stepping in. You might have noticed that he scored two fantastic goals in the injury time in midweek. Amazing turnaround at Leicester. And well, he's playing up front again. And the commentators said that Kane has had to strike up an immediate partnership. So there's a phrasal verb to strike up. You strike up a relationship, you strike up a partnership. It's something between two people often, yeah. So we use it with the word partnership, relationship, but also a conversation, to strike up a conversation. Yeah, it means to begin a partnership, to you know to start working together, to yeah to begin a partnership, to yeah. I think that makes sense. Hopefully it does. Let me know if it doesn't. If you think some of my explanations don't make sense, please let me know. You never know. Okay, Kane came into the corridor of his. That's an interesting expression, corridor. You know what's a corridor? Yeah. It's like a hallway, right? It's a hallway, and it's when you enter your house, there might be a corridor, and then you go through the corridor and you choose which doors you open or where you go, right? But here it's used to refer to some sort of area. His corridor, it's like the space Harry Kane normally appears in, the space that you can normally find Harry Kane. It's his corridor. Kane came into the corridor of his. Rudiger stood his ground, though. So Rudiger, the Chelsea defender, stood his ground. So if a football player stands his ground, it means he manages to hold his position. He is firm, he's unyielding, he refuses to be beaten by the striker or by whoever is trying to take the defender on. Yeah. So it's also used, if you stand your ground, we can also use it when talking about some kind of debate or argument. And if you stand your ground, it means you refuse to change your opinion. You're not swayed by what other people say. You stand your ground. But we can also use it in football. Right. Oh, then there was this terrible miss by Lukaku. The ball came from the right side, and I think Lukaku just made a terrible choice of striking the ball with his wrong foot. And the commentator said, "That's poor. That's a poor miss, and that's a bread and butter stuff for a striker like him, for a striker of his quality or of his caliber." So if something is a bread and butter stuff, that's like basic stuff, something that he should be able to do. It's like basic skills, it's like elementary skills, bread and butter stuff. Something you don't really talk about when it comes to strikers, because every striker has this, right? You should be able to hit the ball at least in some way. So that's a bread and butter stuff, meaning basic stuff. He's really expected to at least hit the ball from there. Yes. Chelsea have to do more. Whether or not Tuchel tweaks it in the halftime, we will see. Whether or not Thomas Tuchel, the manager, the Chelsea manager, tweaks it at the halftime. Yeah. So To tweak something means to slightly change something in order to make it more correct, more effective, or more suitable. Yeah. So I guess if you're working on some kind of project, you can tweak it, change it a little bit to make it better, sort of upgrade it. But here in football, well, you have some kind of strategy. Yeah, you have your formation, and if it's not working, and I'm not sure if it's really working for Chelsea. I think Chelsea are poor. I mean, Tottenham are arguably even worse, but that doesn't surprise me. They are Tottenham. So if you try to tweak it, it probably means in this case that you either tell your players to do something differently, you change the formation a bit, or let's be honest, you bring in fresh legs, a new player, you bring in a new substitute. Yeah. So that's what to tweak something means. It's a verb. Then Harry Kane scored. Well, fortunately, it's not like I'm a Chelsea supporter or anything, but I really don't like Harry Kane. He scored a goal, but there was a slight push into a Chelsea defender right before he scored, and the commentators said that they thought that it was not enough. They thought the push was not enough and that the goal should stand. I couldn't believe what they were saying. I couldn't believe it. It was a clear push. Everybody saw that. No wonder VAR ruled it out. No wonder VAR didn't give the goal. Yeah. The referee saw it. The referee blew the whistle, and VAR only confirmed it. And it was only the commentators who thought that it was not a foul. I don't know. I think sometimes English commentators are a bit biased because Harry Kane is an England captain, and I don't know. I don't know what to think, ladies and gentlemen. But if a goal stands, it means it's given. Yeah. So they were saying the goal should stand. However, it was not to be. It didn't stand. It was not given. It was not awarded. No. VAR chalked it off. They ruled it out. And rightly so. Half a minute into 3 minutes of stoppage time. Right. What's stoppage time? Stoppage time is the added time that the referees give the game in order to compensate for some periods of time where nothing was happening on the pitch. So if there is a player treated, or usually it's something like that, or for the substitutions, there's always, well, almost always, you might have seen a match of the AFCON where the referee blew the whistle in the 85th minute for some reason, but almost always there is a stoppage time. Yeah, so added time after 90 minutes of game, and it's usually 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, sometimes 5 minutes. Another way of saying stoppage time is injury time or added time. Don't confuse this with extra time, because extra time is used to refer to additional, let's say, usually 30 minutes of play when there is a draw and it's a knockout stage. So you have to have a winner. For example, in the semifinal or in the final, you have to have a winner. So then there is additional time, but it's called extra time. Yeah. So stoppage time is not the same as extra time. Right. And that's it for today. So I hope you enjoy these. I hope you I hope you find these videos useful. Please let me know. Leave a comment, give me a like, and yeah, I hope to see you guys soon. Until next time.